guys, Forte Productions here, and it's time for a mini sculpting lesson. Today, I'll be teaching you how to make a snowman. He's small, fun, and easy to make, so let's get started. Now, before we can actually get started sculpting, we need our supplies, of course. So first off, you're going to need a clay. For this one, I'm using Primo Sculpey. It's a clay that bakes when hardened. It's cheap, it's easy to use, and it's fun. Also, a little bit goes a long way, so it's a lot if you want to be conservative. Alright, I'm using white, orange, and red. There we go. Couldn't find it for a second. Also, I'm using black beads for the eyes and the buttons of the snowman. You can use whatever you want, but I like these beads. Then, I'm using an X-Acto razor. Good for little details and very handy tool. So, let's get started. First, open up your white clay. Now, make sure your hands are clean, because if they're not, they'll stain up the clay and then it won't look so nice. Just cut a little off and roll it into a ball. You're really going to have to go through trial and error with the size, because even though a little bit does go a long way, you have to be content with the size. I want a little bigger, so I'm going to come in here and cut off a little more. I'm just rolling it into a ball. There, that'll be good for now. This is the snowman's head. So, come in here, cut off another thing. Now, make this ball a little bigger than the first ball, because it's going to be the body. Snowman with the same size for the head and the body will look awfully funny. So, I made a ball, but it's not big enough. So I cut off a little more clay. And I add it on. Roll it up into a ball again. And there, now we're good. One thing you may want to do is look over your ball and see if it has any seams in it. If it doesn't, you're good. If it does, just go over it lightly with your finger and smooth it out. Okay, now let's get actually started. Take the beads, or whatever you're using for the eyes, and pull out two. Can't see it, but I just put down two. Now, take one, you take your head, position it where you want it, just push it in. If you're using a baking clay, make sure you push it in nice and far, because if you don't, it can fall out when you're baking. Now, take the second one, do the same thing. Make sure they're spaced a nice amount so they look good. There, push that one in nice. Alright, we go. Now, take your orange, open it up, and cut off just a little bit. Form it into like a cone shape. And this, so it looks like that. And you have your nose, little carrot. Take it, just press it on right between the eyes. Like that. See? Now we have a little snowman. Take the X-Acto, and right under the nose, carve a little smile. See? Now, if you want it to be a girl snowman, all you have to do is take your X-Acto and add some eyelashes right near the eyes. But I'm going to make this one a boy. You can do whatever you want. Now take the body and take 3 black beads, or whatever you happen to be using. 1, 2, I took too many. There, 3. Now, take one, push it in. Now you can lay these on the side so the hole that you would normally put the thread through is showing, because it looks a little more like a button. Now, push the other 2 in the same way. Try to keep them evenly spaced, makes it look nice. And you have a snowman belly. Take your snowman, push it right down onto there, and there, You're all done already. Now, I'm going a little bit further. It's almost time for Christmas, so why not be a little festive? But first, have to recarve his mouth. That might happen when you push down sometimes, so don't worry about it. See? Now, come into my red. Open it up. Carve out a little piece of it. Now my red is sparkly, so it gets on your hands. So make sure that it's the last color you use. I'm not particularly fond of the sparkly kind, but I got this when I was helping out a Christmas fair, so that's just the kind I'm using. Now, make it into a cone and bend it back so it looks almost like a elf hat, or like a tooth. Then take it, place it on one of your fingers, push down so that the ends open up and form around your finger, so if you were to let go, it'd stick. Now just broaden that out a little. And that's actually your hat right there. You might want to make the end a little pointier. And right there you actually have a hat, which you can plop on that snowman right there. And there you have it, a snowman with a little hat. Now, if you really want to go a little further, take a little white out. Put it into a ball. Push it to the end. You know what? You might actually want to take it off and flatten the tip of the hat, and then flatten a little piece of the ball so that you can take it and it sticks flat surface to flat surface. It still looks just as good. Now, one more thing to add up the finishing touches. Take a little more white and roll it out to a tube. I'm going to use relatively thin tube, but you can do whatever you want. So you have your little tube of white. Take it and just border it along the edges of the hat. I'm bordering it off screen, you guys can't see it. Once you have it, just rip it off a little. And there you have it, a little border on the hat. Now just push it down so it flattens out a little, becomes a little thicker. Take your X-Acto, and make little ridges along the edge. Now this is something you really can't see on camera because it's little, but when you have one of these things, they really are a nice touch. These things are great little knickknacks to sell at fairs or yard sales or whatever. Make little ridges. There. You're all done. Now I'm crazy, so I'm going to add little rings around the nose. There we go. Little rings, make it a carrot. And you're all done. Give you a close-up view of the little snowman. See? Well, that's all I got for you today. Hope you enjoyed it. So, keep on sculpting.